Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope you're all well, inshallah. We're going to talk today about dropping the love struggle and how to connect and attract the love that we want in our marriage. And inshallah, this is going to be an exciting discussion. We've got Sister Zahra AlJabri who's going to be joining us. I think she's on now, so inshallah, let's just get her to. Inshallah, it's going to be a great topic. People joining already. Ahlan wa sahlan. Thank you to everyone who's coming on.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister, how are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. I'm good, thank you. Better than now that you're online, alhamdulillah. So,
Alhamdulillah.
I hope everything's on your side. On your side is good. You can hear me okay, I hope?
Yes, I can hear you well. Yeah, everything's good.
Perfect. MashaAllah. So we're talking about dropping the love struggle, how we can authentically attract and connect with the love that we want. And I'm hoping, inshallah, there's going to be some nuggets here for everyone, no matter what stage of the relationship journey they're at, whether it's people who are looking for their ideal spouse, people who are in marriages maybe having some challenges there, and also maybe even people who have not had a great kind of run of things with their first marriage or previous marriages, and they want to try and inshallah move things forward and try to bounce back in a more positive way, inshallah. So thank you once again for joining. I'll just do a very brief introduction for the benefit of our audience, inshallah.
Yeah.
Sister Zahra is someone, mashallah, she's very experienced, comes with a lot of knowledge. I'll just briefly read your bio here. Actually, we also want people to participate as well, so please, if you have any questions, we're hoping to go for about 30 minutes, but Sister Zahra's promised me she'll stick around a little bit longer if needed, okay? So,
Yes.
any questions, inshallah, please engage with us. Let's try and make this discussion interactive. Any comments, any feedback would be much appreciated. So Sister Zahra AlJabri is, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly, inshallah, is a relationship coach, a serial entrepreneur, and the author of Before I Do, which is 150 plus questions that all Muslims must ask before marriage. The definite step-by-step guide on how to connect with your soulmate. Sister Zahra coaches clients through her signature framework program so that they can create a loving, passionate, and miraculous marriage. So sounds like exciting stuff, inshallah. You can get Sister Zahra's deep insights and wisdom on her YouTube channel and her Instagram. And she currently lives in the Los Angeles area in the US with her husband, who we're hoping to get on a separate live, inshallah, in the not too distant future, and her 4 children. So, mashallah, ahlan wa sahlan, a warm welcome to you, Sister Zahra. Thank you for taking the time out. As we can tell from your bio, you're very busy. So, alhamdulillah, I'm very grateful, shukran, that you came on. So that's a very brief bio, but if you could please kindly just introduce yourself to our audience in your own words, inshallah.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me. Thank you for making this work. I know we've been in contact for a while. It's a pleasure to be here to share really what motivates me to coach, to share, to support Muslims in achieving the love, the success, the peace, the happiness that they want is my own personal journey. That I grew up as a kind of typical Muslim in the U.S. or the child of immigrants, Muslim. That immigrant Muslim child experience, very typical. Went to Sunday school, learned all the things, tried to be a good girl, and follow all the rules and do everything right. And just reached a point in my life where I was like, okay, where's the blessings, the goodness that Allah promised? Like, I've been good. Where's my good coming back? And realizing that I needed to change. I needed to change my signature framework that I walk clients through and that you get a taste of in any level of my coaching is changing your view of Allah, changing your view of yourself, and then changing your view of the world and of others. And basically when I made those shifts, when I made those changes, when I felt like Allah was supporting me, when I felt that I am good, I don't have to prove my goodness, I am worthy and deserving, and when I felt like the world is supporting me and the world, you know, is not against me, and other people, you know, like, not to take things personally, like other people are going through their own stuff and no one's like trying to block you, everything in my life changed. And it was so like powerful of a change, so magnificent of a change, so such a deep, like, the feeling of it was just like life felt different, life felt lighter, life felt joyous, life felt like, oh my God, like I'm not just on my own here trying to like get a little bit of like the scraps of money and the scraps of love that I can get. Like I can have access to so much more. And I'm an attorney by training. And so I was already supporting clients and people in that way of like, you know, coaching and consulting and guiding people through difficult times, and realizing that, you know, what I really want to do is like help people in their personal lives, help people, coach them through like how to feel better. So that's kind of a little bit more, I guess, background of like why I do this work and why I'm so passionate about it, is because like there is nothing against you. Allah wants you to have love, to have wealth, to have success. And any message that is coming to you or that you've internalized that makes you feel like, I can't get that job, I can't, you know, write that book, I can't do this thing, I can't start with this family, anything that makes you feel like you can't have it, or that's not true, or it's not possible for you, or you're not good enough, or you sin too much, you whatever, is a lie and is not right. And when you make the shifts to really appreciate that, it's just incredible.
Masha, I mean, just listening to you, I can feel, you know, the positive energy, you know, like the frequency is up here right now, right? And this is, you know, it's beautiful energy, you know, and it's inspiring just listening to that intro. Okay, so I want to try and kind of go a little bit deeper. There's so much to cover there, and obviously we're not going to be able to do it to cover everything. But one aspect, and I did mention this to you prior to the interview, was one aspect which is quite interesting in your challenge, your recent challenge that you've been doing. It's ongoing, I believe. Like what, you know, you mentioned something there about clearing love history, you know, or the history of love, right, in one's life. So, and you just mentioned now in your beautiful introduction there that that you had to change the you know, opinion that you had of yourself. I mean, I want to touch upon all the three things that you mentioned there: the opinion of you know, of yourself, and you know, the opinion that you had of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, and the creation at large, right? But let's start with, like, what opinion did you have of yourself, and how did you kind of rewrite that or reinterpret all of that?
Yeah.
What went on there?
So the opinion that I had of myself was that I'm trying to be good. So I'm the oldest daughter, you know, of immigrant. I'm trying to be a good daughter. I'm trying to be a good sister, be a good friend. And so because I'm trying to be so good, right, that means I'm doing what other people want, not making a fuss, not asking for too much, not whatever. So I want to, on the outside, appear that I am good, I am nice, I am kind, I am not fussy, I am not greedy, I am, you know, easygoing, you didn't offend me, that's okay. But inside, I am offended, and I am jealous, and I am angry, and I don't want to do what, you know, my parents told me to do or whatever. Like, so inside I felt like, well, I must actually be a terrible person, because I'm doing these things because I'm supposed to do them, but I'm not doing them because I want to or because I really enjoy it. I'm doing them because I think I have to, so that God won't be mad at me, so that God won't punish me, so that I won't go to hell. So I'm doing these things, but inside I'm like, I don't want to do any of this. Like, I want, you know, I don't want to help these people. I don't want to go to this person's house. I don't, you know, I'm like a teenager, a 20-year-old, like, just like, you know, like, I don't want to do this stuff. So the opinion I had of myself is that I'm not really a good person. And obviously God can see that. God can see that I look like I'm good, but he knows in my heart that I'm not good. And it just created this cycle of like, okay, well, Zahra, like, you have to be better then. So try to do even more, which makes me even more resentful. So it's, the opinion I had of myself was that I'm actually not a good person. I actually don't deserve. I'm one of the hypocrites. I am, all of these things. And like, when you go to khutbah and you go to Sunday school, you just feel like anything you're doing is like, you're feeling haram. You're feeling like, okay, so the opinion I had of myself is like, yes, you look good and you're presenting good, but deep down you're not really. And you have to keep trying to be good, keep working to be good. Because my thinking was that maybe one day, like what I'm doing on the outside will change, will move into my heart, that I'll actually feel it. But that never came. It just kept feeling worse and worse.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can totally relate to that. I mean, where did those emotions, of like all those negative emotions that you mentioned there, where did they stem from? Like, was it something, was it any particular events or incidents in childhood maybe? Was it, like maybe relationship with like your siblings or parents? Or was it an incident at, you mentioned Sunday school or the
I don't think there was anything in particular. I think it was just like, my parents, or like, you have to be good. Zahra's so nice. You're a good girl. So you want to live up to the words that they're saying, right? And they're like, don't do that. You can't do that. So it's just this feeling of like being on your best behavior, performing, and then going to Sunday school, and yes, and learning like Allah's punishment is, severe, and if you miss any prayer, you're a kafir, and this is haram and that is haram. Yeah. And so like the fear I had within me of like being bad or doing bad, or like the book of deeds, like, oh my God, Allah's writing down everything I'm saying, like everything I'm, all of these things, just, it was a sense of being watched and being judged harshly.
Would you say that like growing up there was a sense of or fear of not being good enough? And that may have been, due to a combination of things. Could be parents' high expectations. Could be, obviously, like I said, some of the things you were learning in your teaching environments. But do you think that there was like that sense of not being good enough, not being worthy of?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, for me, my parents are from Africa. I'm a Black African girl. I lived in white suburbia, so also the feeling of like you're Black, you're inferior, I did not feel good enough, right? And my parents were lovely, gracious, kind, giving, generous people. My parents are amazing parents. And still, like, that's how I felt with it, right? So it's a combination of things, right? The expectations I had that my parents were like, Zahra is good, right? So like you felt like, well, I can't be bad. Like I have to be good. They think I'm so good, I have to be good. And then the fear from the rest of the world that like, yeah, your parents think you're good, but like you just look like a little Black girl. Like, I don't know, are you that good? Do you speak English? Do you know anything? Are you smart? And like feeling I have to prove all of those things. I am smart. I do speak English. Like, like I can play soccer, right? Like just trying to prove like I'm good.
Mashallah, I'm with you. Okay, so then let's turn that around. And like, is there any one thing, like, something you read, someone you met, an encounter? Where did what was like the impetus for you to make the transition, to make the transformation into where you are today, which is, mashallah, Zahra, the transformational coach, the author, the serial entrepreneur, mashallah, all these titles, right? Which you're finding hard to kind of mother as well. So like, what's happened in between?
So I would say that like for all of us, for all of you listening, that, yeah, someone's saying the needing validation is so deeply ingrained. Yeah, you need the outside word to validate that you're good, right? It's not enough for you to like, I think I'm good. Like you need other people to say it. But for everyone listening, like we're constantly on a journey. We're like, Allah is guiding us down a path, right? So there were times I can remember from like, my earliest that I can remember is maybe like middle school area, but like appreciating and knowing that like the way I was viewing myself, like things had to change. I remember distinctly, I read one quote and then I cut it out and I put it on my desk, and it said, I cannot hate myself into someone I can love. And that really, really resonated with me because I used to keep a journal. I still keep a journal, but in my journal, I would write like, I hate myself that I do this. I hate that I hate that I get jealous. I hate, and my journal was always, I hate different things about myself. And so when I saw this quote, I can't hate myself into someone I can love. I was like, oh my God, like, subhanAllah. And here I was maybe like 13, 14 at the time. When I put that on my thing, I was like, okay, something about this I have to change, right? But I was so young, I didn't really know how. But all of these like little types of messages kept coming to me. And I guess the bigger impetus around like what was a bigger shift was learning about The Secret. I don't know if you've seen that book or watched that movie on Netflix, The Secret, and it was talking about the law of attraction. The secret is the law of attraction. And the law of attraction is essentially saying that you attract into your life what you are. And so if you want more wealth, like feel more abundant. If you want more love, feel that you're already more loved. And the way they described the law of attraction was literally dua. They're like, ask for what you want. Believe that you can, it's called ask, believe, receive. Ask for what you want. Believe that you can have it, and then open yourself up to receiving. And I was like, this is dua. Like, these people are describing dua, but I've never had dua described to me in this like clear, simple, straightforward, practical way. And so I was just blown away by like, and then it's this interview of all these people talking about when I asked and I believed and I received all the things that they got. And I'm like, oh, because they're making dua and they're getting what they want. I'm like, and I always thought, oh, when you make dua, when you make dua, yes, Allah could give it to you now, but more likely it's going to be saved for you in Jannah. Like, you know, the 3 ways that dua was answered, the feeling I got from all of my teachers, from my parents even, were like, inshallah in Jannah you'll get all these things. Like, don't really hope too much that you'll actually have wealth now, and that you'll actually have a great relationship now, and that you'll actually build or be successful or be famous or be whatever it is, like, inshallah. But you know, you'll get that in Jannah. This world is a, you know, a trial for the believers and it's paradise for the disbelievers. So and watching that and understanding that, was like, I just don't believe that Allah will give me anything that I want now. Like, that mind, the shift that I had to make with my mindset with Allah was like, to believe that Allah could do good for me now. The belief was not that Allah would do good for me now. It was like, Allah is good and loving, and he is helping those people and he's helping those people, but for me, it's gonna come in Jannah. Yes.
MashaAllah.
And someone's, yeah, writing the comment, believe your dua are already answered. They are. And literally that's what Allah says about dua. Like, when you call on me, I answer. Your dua is accepted. But like, as a community, we kind of miss that. We're like, maybe it's accepted. And then we get into all the rules. What time did you ask? Were you making wudu? Blah, 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 da, da, da. And yes, of course, I'm not saying anything against like the etiquette of making dua. That is beautiful and wonderful. But we have such a fear that Allah is not going to answer us that we like, okay, well, maybe it's because whatever, I messed up on the etiquette, or, you know, I was rude to my mother and I didn't answer my father's phone call. And we just feel like something is in the way, blocking our dua. When the only thing blocking your dua is your belief that Allah is not going to answer it. Like, that's literally the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ said that your dua is accepted, except, you know, your dua is answered. Believe in your dua. It won't be answered only if you say, I asked Allah for such and such, and I didn't see anything. That's all saying, like, you just didn't believe. You just didn't believe. That's the only thing limiting you. If you believe, you will receive.
MashaAllah, I love that one. If you believe, you will receive. And MashaAllah, we're getting some really good engagement in the chat as well. Plenty of hearts going out to Sister Zahra, and what to say, we always feel limited. We are not. Absolutely, absolutely. And I think what you're talking about now is really, really powerful, right? Because we all know from an Islamic perspective that that, you know, the dua is like a, you know, what's the hadith? To the nearest meaning, it's the weapon of the believer, right? So
yes,
you know, it's an arrow that won't miss its target. Okay, so like, is there a methodology that you adopted to really, you know, make these du'as powerful? Like, is there something that you thought, like, let me do it this way now? Like, was there a process, a 7-day process, a 21-day process? You know, sometimes with habits, you know, they say, depending on which research you follow, there's a certain period of time for something to get hardwired into your kind of system, you know, neurologically speaking. So, like, was there a specific process with your dua? How did you implement that? How did you really make that kind of you know, embedded in your, you know, in your heart, so that it was just, there was so much certitude built around it?
Yes. So it's basically it's an ongoing process, but we do in our premier coaching program, which is called Limitless Love. It's a year-long program, and over the first 3 months, we go through a process that is guiding you into holding your belief in your faith in a place to match with your du'as, to receive your du'as. And essentially, you know, to try and break down this 3 months into a little answer to your question, is that we are clearing out all the things that make it hard for you to believe, right? Because if all you need to do is know what you want, ask for what you want, believe, and then you're going to receive it, right? It's this middle piece, believe. What stops you from believing, right? So if we're going to use the marriage example, what stops you from believing I can get married? Or if I'm already married, that my marriage can transform to be a better marriage or a happier marriage? What stops you from believing it, right? So if it's, you know, if you're trying to get married, well, I've been trying to get married for 10 years and it hasn't happened. So that stops you from believing. It's been too long. Or, you know, I'm not making enough money. Or I don't think I look good enough. Or my parents, you know, are divorced or have this history that makes it hard. Suitors, prospects don't like my family background, right? So you'll have all of these reasons why you don't believe it's possible, right? Or if you are already married, we've been fighting nonstop. We've already tried counseling. You're going to have all these reasons that make you believe like it's not possible. It's not possible for my marriage to change. It's not possible for me to change. And you have to go through one by one and clear those thoughts, clear those beliefs, change those beliefs. Like, well, I know another couple that, you know, tried this method and it did work out for them and their marriage did transform. Okay, so that helps me believe that. I know someone, I'm single, and I know someone who is this age and they did get married. Okay, it helps me believe that it's not my age, right? One by one. Because the opposite of faith, right? To believe in your dua is to have faith in your dua, to have faith that this thing, that Allah is going to respond, that this thing can happen. And the opposite of faith is not disbelief, right? We often think belief and disbelief, but the opposite of faith is doubt. It is the doubt, because it is the doubt that is poking at all of your things to make you not believe, to make you not have faith that this can happen. You will have, and that you have more faith in your doubts. You have more faith in all of the reasons why it can't happen. I can never start my own company and, you know, grow a multi-million-dollar brand because I wear hijab, I'm a woman, I am this. You'll have more faith. This is so true. I have total faith and belief. Absolutely. I've never seen a hijabi multi-millionaire company starter. So you have faith in that as opposed to having faith in, I know that I'm talented. I have a great idea. I can find the right people to work with me, that Allah's on my side, that the world wants this product, that people are excited, that people will come to support. You don't have as much faith in that. That's, I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. Right. And Allah will answer my dua in Jannah. I don't know if he's going to help me build my company now. So it's literally a choice of where do you put your faith? Where do you put your faith? And so in our program, we're guiding you to lessen that you're putting your faith in all of these doubts and increase that you're putting your faith in all of your hopes and dreams and Allah's power.
Yeah, mashallah. So is that like something like, I don't know, like, do you get your clients to go through like repetitive mantras, for example, you know, referred to as sort of affirmation,
yeah,
you know?
So we give our clients everything we can, right? Because at each person, something different is going to work for you. Each person, something different is going to help you move out of doubt and into faith. So in our coaching program, we give Islamic guided meditations. So, and we teach people how to meditate. We do Islamic guided meditations. We go through just your regular rituals, prayer, salat, fasting, giving charity, and increasing your intentionality and your belief behind those Islamic rituals. We give you something called empowering questions, which is switching the way that you ask questions to yourself, right? Like if we're using the example of marriage, you know, you might be like, oh, well, why would it happen now? Why would I get married now? Why would anyone want to marry me? Those are disempowering questions. So we give you a whole list of empowering questions such as, why wouldn't someone want to marry me? Why not? Can't I get married right now? Right? Like just switching the question. If you can hear how your mind begins thinking differently, the empowering questions are very powerful. We give you journaling prompts to journal out, to write out, right? Because so many times, like, things will come out through the pen, right? And there's so much power in the pen. We know man was taught by the pen that when you write things out, you can uncover from within yourself, like the answers. The answers are already within. So journaling prompts. What else do we give you? Affirmations. I have something called Islamic devotionals. Like, we give so much, and then we work. That's why it's a coaching program. We work with you to see what is helping you the most, because otherwise it's overwhelming. You got to meditate, you got to journal, you got to do affirmations. It's just like, oh my God, right? You're going to be reading those like morning rituals from like the gurus, and it's like, oh, this is a 5-hour morning ritual now. Like, okay, of course you're not going to do it, right? So we help you find what's the 20-minute thing that you can do that helps you go from doubt to faith. And then as we're working with you over the course of the year, increasing that so that you can catch yourself in the moment that you have a doubtful thought, right? It could be just something like, oh my God, I'm running late. I'm never going to make it to my meeting on time. And you catch yourself, wait, that's a scarcity mindset. I'm doubting that it's possible. I can catch myself in the moment. I have plenty of time. Allah will provide. Things will be okay. I will make it on time, right? That you moment by moment can now be switching from doubt to faith.
Yeah, yeah. So when you mention, mashallah, that's really, really powerful. And it's really interesting that you actually help with like providing some of those questions and some of those empowering questions. So, I mean, yeah, because it could be quite overwhelming to expect a client to be able to write these things themselves, or to, you know, to actually produce some of that content. So it's really good that you guys, I mean, do you do that in the form of like what, PDFs? Is it like MP3s, like you know, how, because you mentioned Islamic devotion.
Yeah, yeah.
What's going on there in that segment?
Yeah. Everything is either a PDF or an audio file that we send out. Islamic devotionals are something so powerful and so helpful, and I have those on my Instagram page. I don't sell everything separately, but Islamic devotionals are one thing that I do sell separately, that you can get a PDF of 60 Islamic devotionals from the link in my bio. And basically these are short, powerful reminders of the truth of what Allah says, and they're written in a style as though Allah is speaking to you. And the idea here is to retrain, retrain in your mind how you hear Allah. Many of us do not appreciate or realize how the voice for God that we imagine and have in our head is really negative. It just, you know, we're living in the West. We've adopted kind of the angry man in the sky, the Christian kind of notion of God. And so you don't really realize that you feel like Allah is judging you or is harsh to you, like, oh my God, right? When you are berating your own self and you're like, you made that mistake again, you're so dumb, how could you do this, right? Part of it is your own criticism, but part of it is also because you feel like God is judging you, so you got to be hard on yourself. So these Islamic devotionals retrain how you hear God, that you hear God as being like, it's okay, that's fine that you messed up this, or that you made that mistake, or that you sent the wrong email to your boss. Like, it's okay, everyone makes mistakes. Send it again, they accept your apology. Like, it just helps you to have this tone of like, I got this, I'm my own best friend, I'm my own cheerleader, I'm on my own side, and God's on my side too, and God is supporting me. So I'll send you some of those Islamic devotionals so you can read them for yourself, and you can post them for your audience to see what it is and feel for yourself the power of how it shifts your mind.
MashaAllah. Absolutely. I think powerful is definitely the right word here. I think everything that you're talking about, I love the way that, and this is something that, you know, we try to do here with some of our coaching as well. We try to get people to inculcate the different faculties that they have, whether it's the hearing faculty, whether it's the, you know, their own speech, whether it's, you know, their own reading capability. And like you said, everyone learns and is able to digest information in different ways, right? According to, you know, which method suits them best, right? Some people are more auditory, right? Some people are more into kind of like reading books. So it's really good that you're trying to cater for those different segments of your audience. So I really, really love that. And I think the way the program is structured, it seems like this is something that is needed in the Muslim community. Like there aren't too many programs. Obviously, I interview people. I'm always kind of trying to, kind of learn and upgrade my own kind of learning. And I think the way your program is structured, it's very unique. And I think this is what we really need to do. We need to learn from the best mentors in the mainstream. Learn from the best. I remember one of my teachers telling me when I went to Morocco to learn in Shad, and we're learning from some of the best teachers in Fez, and our teacher said, look, you've got to learn from the masters, because if you learn from the masters, then you might not necessarily be as good as them, but you're going to be somewhere close. So I think what we need to do as as Muslim professionals, consultants, coaches, is learn from the best people out there, regardless of whether they're Muslim or not, and actually repackage that in a way which is like it really resonates with our community. And that sounds to me like just listening to you, like really the way this is what you've really done here, is that you've produced something which is so needed and packaged in a way which is going to be very, very beneficial for the for the Muslim community at large. So Allahumma barik, I pray Allah gives you success and istiqamah, and gives you more openings, and that you become a means to benefit the Muslim community. I think, inshallah, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. Like
I see someone's comment here. She said, oh, you remind me of Muhammad al-Sharif, rahimahullah. And yes, I did Muhammad al-Sharif. I did Visionaire. I did almost all of his Discover You programs. Like, to your point of learning from the best, like, I've explored and studied all the Islamic resources that I could find, like Sheikh Mohammed Mendez, Islamic Meditation, Muhammad al-Sharif with Visionaire. There's someone else who called it Spiritual Excellence, about all of these other things. And then I also took from The Secret was the impetus. So then I also studied and learned from secular sources, Gabby Bernstein, Wayne Dyer, Tony Robbins, and learning, and like literally, any secular coach or personal development, spiritual development that you encounter and you feel like the resonance, like this sounds true. Don't be afraid. It is true. There is only one source of truth, and Islam does not have a monopoly on it. Like, other people are receiving that truth too. They may not be calling it Allah, they may be calling it the universe or whatever, but they are understanding that these are the truth, the capital T truth of how Allah has created the world and how the world operates. And so you can learn lessons from them. And then I know for me as a Muslim, like, I needed it in the Islamic framework. And so when I was bringing together all of these Islamic lessons and then all of these secular lessons, and just really, really appreciating, like, oh my goodness, it's all in Islam. Like, I don't need to go to the secular ones because it's literally all here. Sometimes they help me understand it in a more practical step-by-step way, because Islam, many of our sheikhs teach it too theoretically.
Yeah.
But it's all there in Islam. So I'm so, grateful to be able to offer this to the Muslim community, because as a community, we tend to think we need to get everything from Islam, which is true. We can, but if it hasn't been packaged and taught to us in the right way, we can't get it. We can't get it out. And then you feel like, well, is this weird that I'm going to Tony Robbins or something for, to learn how to be a better person? But literally what he's saying is Islam, is how to be a good Muslim. Like, so yeah, you can go to him, or you can, come to me, and I can help you connect it in a way that really feels the resonance in your heart, because it's already in the Islamic language that and then is based on like the latest scientific, biological, psychological, whatever studies that are just true because it's Allah's truth.
Alhamdulillah, absolutely, so inspiring, mashallah. So much to discuss with you, Sister Zahra. Obviously, I think time is of the essence. I mean, would you maybe like to just some final thoughts, some nasiha for us? I know you've been working on this this challenge, and I think
yes.
I think
well, I'd love to offer your audience access. Yes. So I've been doing a Drop the Love Struggle challenge, which is essentially retraining your mind how you can drop the love struggle and get into the relationship that you want, because you can. And if that's triggering you and you're like, Zahra, I can't drop this love struggle. Like, I don't know. I've tried everything. Just just humor me, and it's an invitation for you to try it. And as a guidance coaching listener, you can get 50% off of that struggle. I'm going to send you the link so that you can share it with all of your audience. And of course, you can visit my page on Instagram, and my link in bio has all of my resources. You can email me, Zahra at Practical Muslim. What do you recommend for those going through a divorce? I recommend the healing process, right? To forgive, to let go, learn your lessons, right? Like the first session of Drop the Love Struggle is to learn from what has happened to you. Everything is for you to lead you to the life that you want. But you have to pull out the gems that are in your life experience. And so clearing your love history will help you do that. So inshallah, get the Drop the Love Struggle challenge. You are going to get 50% off. And I'd love to see you on my page. I know, inshallah, we're going to have my husband come on and speak with you too. So you're going to get his perspective. Yeah, this has been awesome.
Absolutely, absolutely, definitely. It would be an honor to, inshallah, connect with you again, and because this is such a deep, fascinating discussion. It's always, I really enjoy, kind of speaking to people who have understood that everything that we're learning, which we may perceive to be from external sources, actually is all provided for internally within this beautiful deen of ours. But sometimes, like you said, it's not packaged in that way, right? So we have to go out to, so we have to I like to tell people, I say, I've taken the hit for you guys, right? I've gone out there, I've been to those events. Yes, there's things going on there which are probably, you guys wouldn't feel comfortable participating in. But I took the hit, I went there, I learned the good stuff, inshallah, I'm bringing it back to serve you guys, So, yeah, absolutely. I think that, it's, there is like there's so much khair out there from people who, I think sometimes we're putting a wall around ourselves and preventing ourselves from taking in so much wisdom, and Allah has not blocked people from understanding some of the, some of His wisdom that He's, deposited to His, certain people here on this planet. So I think it's beautiful that, mashallah, we have people like you who understand these little subtleties and are able to use this in a positive way, inshallah, to serve our brothers and sisters. And, you're someone who has used it on yourself first. It's helped you to make the change that you are now trying to help others, implement in their own life. So, mashallah, you're really walking the talk. So, alhamdulillah, very, very happy that we've had this discussion, and definitely would love to connect with you again, inshallah. And we'll have hubby on soon as well, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so much.
Barakallahu feekum. Thank you to everyone that participated as well. We had great engagement from the audience, and as Sister Zahra said, she's going to be offering a special, a link to her challenge with a special offer for you all, inshallah. So we'll post that on the comments as well, inshallah. Barakallahu feekum. Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you once again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Wa alaikum salam.
Shukran.